Hi, my name is Mani. I'm an assistant professor at Clemson University. I was a postdoc before this at Colorado State University, where along with my mentors, Jordan Suter, Dale Manning, and Chris Gomez, we studied the effectiveness of different groundwater management policies across the High Plains Aquifer. One of the policies that we specifically focused on was something called Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program, or Crypt. This policy pays producers to retire their groundwater use permanently. Well, the effectiveness of such a policy depends a lot on how active neighboring producers respond to the neighboring producers stop pumping permanently. For example, if we focus on this producer or this parcel here, and if three of their neighbors enroll in the CREP program and stop pumping permanently, we want to know how this well changes their groundwater use. They can increase their groundwater use because now there is more groundwater available because there's less pumping. But on the other hand, they can also decrease their groundwater use because there is now less competition for the resource that they all share. Well, we studied this using the historical data that was available from the case of Kansas, and we found out that on average, the active producers, when their neighboring wells retired their groundwater use as a result of enrolling in the CREP program, they would on average decrease their groundwater use initially. Well, from the policy point of view, this is one way of approaching groundwater conservation. The policymaker can target a few producers and pay them more money to retire their groundwater use permanently, or they can target more producers and pay everyone a smaller amount of money, or more producers smaller amount of money to reduce their amount of groundwater use that they are pumping. There's a trade-off between these two types of policies in terms of groundwater levels and profits. To study these trade-offs, we focus on a hydroeconomic modeling approach. This hydroeconomic approach considers how aquifer levels change, how producers respond to these changes, and how their responses in terms of irrigation decisions affect aquifer levels, and how aquifer levels in turn over time affect their groundwater use and their profitability. And this is what we are focusing on in the next step, to study the trade-offs between different types of conservation payments for conserving groundwater across the High Plains.